Hey, what's up? I'm Aaron Holstein, and today I'm going to talk about finishing tracks. Let me ask you a question. How many half-finished ideas do you have saved on your hard drive? I don't know about you guys, but I sometimes have a lot of trouble finishing songs. I have so many unfinished tunes on my hard drive. Some of them have some really good ideas in them. They're either cluttered, or the ideas are not expressed clearly, or there's an element in the music that's throwing the rest out of balance. And then there's a point when I've listened to the loop so many times that I've lost perspective of whether it's any good. So tell me if this ever happens to you guys. You're working on a new track, you're excited about it, your enthusiasm is up here, and then you listen to the main part looping over and over and over, and I can't imagine what to do with it any longer. I'm used to it, I get start getting sick of it, and I'm stuck. One thing that's really important is to commit to your ideas. Do not fall prey to self-doubt. Seriously, that's gonna ruin your tune. You gotta kick self-doubt to the curb. Realize someone out there is gonna totally hate your music. Okay, cool. So now let's work on music that you like, that feels good to you. Use that as your focus. If you're digging it, it's right. If the music gets you out of your chair and you're dancing around your studio to it, it's right. If it makes you feel something, it's right. It's totally subjective. Somebody's gonna like it, somebody's gonna hate it, somebody's not gonna care about it. That's not something to think about while you're creating stuff. Musical taste is one of those things. It's one of the most unique personal traits. You and a friend might have everything in common. Sense of humor, food, clothes, art, movies. But then there's gonna be a song that one of you likes and one of you hates, and one of you hates and one of you likes. It could almost be a friendship deal killer. Like, really? You like that song? What? You don't like that? That's not something to think about while you're writing music. It doesn't help you. In fact, it gets in your way and you start second guessing yourself. Whew, you got this. If you take too much time to make it perfect, sometimes you squeeze the life out of it. You lose touch with what you loved about the tune when it started. You lose touch with what happened when you first caught fire with the tune. You want to chase that fire through the whole process, put a frame around it, hang it on the wall, and get on to the next tune. And then sit back and listen to it on loop. Move fast, trust your ideas, don't overthink it. Quick and dirty sometimes is the way to go. Some of my favorite tunes that I've made were one-day smashers. Bam! I gotta do this. Maybe I had a deadline or something, and I went down to the studio and I busted it out. If you commit to your ideas and move forward and move to the end and put a frame around and hang it on the wall, then you are gonna start another tune and soon have a bunch of finished music. Some of that's gonna be good. What if 10% of it is good? What if 20% of it is good? What if half of that stuff's good? What if all of it's good? You'll end up with a lot to choose from. It's the process, and it's doing it. And it's doing it over and over and over. It's getting comfortable with that feeling of not knowing where it's gonna go. Usually, less is more. Sometimes more is more. Sometimes you wanna build chaos. Sometimes you wanna build tension. But when you come down into a place that's about release, that's about the home base of the song, clarity is key. Sometimes you get more depth with less stuff, more depth with more silence. Reverb gets a chance to do its thing when there's space in your tune. If you've worked yourself into a corner and your tracks have a lot of great ideas, but perhaps too many great ideas, it's time to delete some stuff. Any ideas that you jettison in the name of clarity and making your track better, you can use in another track. Save the preset that you worked on. Save the MIDI files. Save the part. Use that sound. Make some notes. Save it into your library. Please tell me you have a really organized library of sounds and you're naming stuff. No sound 00001, sound 0002, sound 327, or like this, that, or even just baseline 1, baseline 2. Get really specific. Sleazy loud baseline, deep crusty baseline, big fat snare, tiny clap. Come up with your own system of describing your own stuff. Name it well. That way, next time when you're working and you need something cool, you know you've got some stuff you actually spent quite a lot of time on. If it doesn't work in this tune, it still might work in another. Go through each channel that's not critical and mute it. Sit back, listen to your tune. Mute one channel at a time and listen. If you have the time and have the patience, listen to the whole thing. Once something is muted, if you don't even notice that it's missing, out of here. Delete it. Done. Because you can always add one more thing. You could always mess with this. You could always mess with that. And in the end, a lot of the best tunes are the ones with the least amount of clutter, that are seemingly simple, that have stripped away all of the excess and are down to the essence. That's when a tune is at its best. No junk, no fat, no excess. You want your ideas as lean and clear as possible. Get rid of the clutter. If something feels good to you, it's right. Commit to your ideas. Proceed forward to the end. Put a frame around it and hang it on the wall. What do I mean by put a frame around it? I guess this would apply to visual arts as well, literally. But when I say put a frame around it in terms of music, it's just saying, I'm done. I could work on this forever, but I'm not going to. In fact, right now, it's a song. Welcome to the world. Once you've finished a bunch of tunes, you're going to start songs with that accumulated wisdom that only you have, because you've built up each level yourself. You got to start somewhere. And there's plenty of people that will never finish a track. So if you are finishing your ideas, putting a frame around them and putting them on the wall, the important thing at that point is to let go and move on. You can always go back and redo it and remix it later, but now it's time to work on something else. If you get in the habit of starting, working, and finishing, then you're going to end up with a lot of finished material. You'll begin with the end in mind. You'll know as you start that sounds that you're selecting are the kind of sounds you like working with in the mix and mastering process. I hope my rant helps you finish tunes. 1, kick your self-doubt to the curb. 2, commit to your ideas. 3, keep moving forward. 4, set a time limit, put a frame around it, finish the tune. Move on to the next one, and before you know it, you have a body of work. You can look back on it, and some of those songs that you didn't like, you will like. Some of those songs you loved, you won't. It's back to that musical taste, because part of that is through time, we all change a little bit. My musical taste has changed over time, and there's some stuff that I still love that I loved when I was a kid, and there's some stuff I really don't like to listen to. There's music that comes and goes for me, and there's stuff that's always the right sound. I hope this video helped somebody get unstuck. Thanks for tuning in. Happy music making, and I'll see you soon. Okay, bye. Thank you.